the Travel Like a Boss podcast, the radio show all about traveling like a boss by being your own boss. Stay tuned for weekly interviews featuring guests that have built their own online businesses. If you would like to have access to our entire back catalog, visit travellikeabosspodcast.com for instant access. And here's your host, Johnny FD.
Hey everyone, this is Johnny and welcome to Travel Like a Boss episode 143. I'm here with Riley Bennett.
What's happening?
Dude, I'm happy to have you back on the show. He has been on back in the day, episode 52, and that episode was called Sleeping on the Couch to Ballin' Out.
Wow, we've came a long way, man. It's incredible.
You know what? You have, man. I mean, all right, so can we do a quick recap on where you're from and how you even came out here in the first place?
Yeah, for sure. Wow. So yeah, quick recap. Last time we were on the podcast with Johnny, it was when we came out to Thailand for the 2014 Dropship Lifestyle Retreat. And that was really, that was right after we quit our jobs just to come to this conference because we wanted to be digital nomads. We wanted to join the crew and travel and do the extended travel thing, the digital nomad thing. Fast forward 2 years and 2 months. It's now December 2016. I can't believe it. And we're still out here. So I think needless to say, we made it. And it all started with finishing university and having a desire to, work abroad, do the study abroad thing, travel after school. So we started watching YouTube and found Johnny's video, his apartment video, followed his blog, found out about the conference. Rest is history. We're still here.
Yeah. And that's the key point is both you and your buddy, Parker, still here.
Yeah, we're still here, man. Where it all started back in Chiang Mai. But we have, over the last 2 years, real quick, we've done, I think this is our 14th month total in Chiang Mai. We did 6 months in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. We did 2 months in the Philippines. We did a month backpacking around Cambodia. We just got back from a month backpacking around Kenya because our best friend does business down there. And we've also spent a total of 4 months back home. So 1 month this past summer and 3 months the previous summer. So yeah.
So when you got back home, what did your friends and your family all think about this craziness?
This madness. The cool thing is we both have supportive families and they get it. My mom traveled after university a little bit. But I think everyone understands, everyone wants to travel at some point in your life. And especially after finishing school, that's a big accomplishment. I think they're not too surprised that we want to go travel for a little bit. It's just not everyone gets to stay, not everyone gets to stay, but luckily, there are great career options, great career paths these days that are totally laptop based. And so that's what we chose.
So I definitely want to talk about that part of it later on, but I'm actually curious, how many people do you think that you met, let's say in 2014, 2 years ago when you came here? Now it's almost 2017. It's crazy. Actually, I think it will be 2017 in a few days when this is out. Guys. Happy New Year's, buddy. So Happy New Year's to everyone listening to this.
Yeah.
How many people do you think that you met this last couple of years are still digital nomading or working location independently?
Yeah. So just from the 2014 conference, I actually was just hanging out with 5 of those guys that I met all there, and 5 of my best friends. We were hanging out on Christmas and it was like a family. But the craziest thing about this family is we have so much in common. We all come from, different cities. Aside from Parker and I, we grew up from the 3rd grade, but we all come from different cities, different backgrounds, different countries, and we all had the same desire to travel, and we all put it all on the line, quit our jobs, came out here to the conference to risk it, and we're all still here 2 years later. So it's we're closer than a family can ever be because we're all in such the same boat. So it was just an amazing experience hanging out with those guys for the whole night and just reminiscing and being wow, we come from all different points around the globe, but we all came here because we all had the same dream basically.
You know what's crazy is there's a saying that family you're born with, but your friends are who you choose. But in reality, for most people, they don't actually choose their friends. Their friends are people that they happen to go to school with, happen to live in their 1 mile radius. You know, they're co-workers, whatever it is, or friends of friends. Yeah. I almost feel like those friends we don't really choose. We're kind of just stuck with them, right?
Exactly.
And you know, if you're lucky, they're great friends. If you're not, they're just the guy you went to third grade with. You just happen to be your neighbor.
Yeah.
But in this lifestyle, we really are choosing our friends because we're physically moving somewhere, meeting someone from a whole other city or maybe another country, and you know, based on what we choose as our hobbies, even though it's not conventional.
Yeah, exactly. And Jabril and I actually touched on this in the last video on my channel, and you can also check out the last 2 videos is Jabril, and the last vlog was hanging out with those 5 guys.
Yeah. By the way, this podcast, and actually the last one, even though I said it was going to be on video, wasn't. I lost all the footage. Sorry, guys. I don't think I'm going to be doing video podcasts for a while just because they've been taking so long to edit. And I think the first one everyone really liked because they've never seen, you know, what the podcast looks like when we're doing it. But by the second or third, people are like, you know, I know what it looks like. Let me just listen to it in my earbuds. So at least for now, audio only. But if you want to see more video, go on Riley's channel. How do they find it on YouTube?
youtube.com/livinthatlife. Livin.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have a link to that in the show notes as well. This is episode 143. But we just did an interview, which will hopefully be up at the same time. This is where we walked around our neighborhood here in Chiang Mai. We showed you some cool stuff. And we also talked about, just coming up and leveling up.
Yeah, exactly.
So you met Mr. Think Outside the Box, Jabril, in Bangkok. How'd you meet him?
It was crazy. We were in Bangkok, doing a quick stopover for a week on our way back from Kenya to Chiang Mai, and we were actually getting ready to fly out the next morning. And luckily, we hadn't bought our tickets yet. Parker sends me a screenshot. Jabril posted on his Facebook page at 11:49 at night, "Hey guys, I'm coming to Bangkok for 36 hours. If anyone is around, I'm down to meet up." So we were like, no way. Because like this guy's our travel idol, like a lot of us out there. He's been doing it big for years. And so, he's like, hit me up. So we hit him up and we met up. It was a couple people. We had dinner. And then afterwards, we actually ended up going out and having a weird night in Bangkok. So, but we also did a little short podcast interview in the taxi, which was really cool. Like we get into some deep stuff about, you know, entrepreneurship and getting started in the digital nomad entrepreneur online scene. So yeah, you can check that out.
I like that. That's super cool that you just randomly bumped into him.
Yeah.
Funny story is a few years ago at the full moon party, I ran into him on the beach.
Oh yeah, dude! And he actually showed us that we showed him that photo. We Googled it because I was mentioning you in my story. You know, as you guys know, Johnny is a huge part of being out here because of, you know, the video that we found, and then also promoting sharing Anton's and inviting us to the conference. So we were telling our story, and then we were like, dude, I think you know him. John, I think Johnny's mentioned in a podcast. And he's like, and so we showed you the photo of you two on the beach because we Googled it and it popped up.
How did you even find that?
I think Parker Googled it. He Googled like Jabril, Johnny FD, and the photo on the beach popped up, and he's like, oh yeah, I actually remember encountering that guy. I remember.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. So yeah, he remembered you.
Man, you know what? I'm actually trying to find that photo right now because it'd be cool to have in the show notes. But yeah, I only chatted with him for a few minutes, so we didn't hang out or anything. But I didn't really know who he was. I had met him. I think I had followed him on Instagram or saw him somewhere. And when I bumped into him, I was like, "Hey, you're that living out, thinking outside, Mr. Think Outside the Box."
Yeah.
We got a photo real quick, and then we were gonna meet up and party that night, full moon party. But there was like 30,000 people there, so we never saw each other again. But that's cool that you bumped into and you remembered me.
Speaking of full moon party, if you're watching this in after late February, I am going to the full moon party on I'm going January 12th. So if you're watching this after that, there's a good chance you can click below to watch my full moon party video. I'm pumped to film that.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It has such a wild time
Yeah,
out there.
everyone keeps saying
Don't
you
get
gotta
too
go.
crazy.
I know. I can't get too crazy because I got to film, but it should be crazy.
But you can get a little bit crazy.
I hear it's crazy. You can get a little bit crazy.
You can get a little bit. It's all right. You got the permission to.
Cool.
I like it. So the reason why I wanted to have you on is because so much has changed in these last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you haven't just been here bumming around. You've been growing your businesses. You've had this huge YouTube success. You've had 1 million viewers now.
Mm-hmm.
How did all that started?
Well, the whole YouTube thing, I guess I have to go back and tell the story. I'll do my best, Casey Neistat impression. It's all about the story, right? So ever since I was a kid, I've been creating, like I used to do impressions of like Jim Carrey and like Mike Myers when I was a little kid. So I'm realizing like I've kind of always been like the entertainer type of person and like playing like piano and stuff. And then in middle school, I was that kid who was always recording. So when the first iPod came out, the one with the click wheel, it didn't have a microphone. So I got the other one. It's called the Dell DJ. And I would record people's voices and like record kids like doing funny, goofy things and record the teachers and like record kids goofing off in class. And I would edit that into CDs and put like beats over them. And me and my friend would record like comedy skits even before there was such thing as a podcast.
Okay,
this was in middle
like
school. And we would put these comedy skits into CD form and we would sell these comedy CDs. So I've always been that kid that's always recording, always creating. And then, of course, when I got my first smartphone, always taking pictures. Of course, when Snapchat came out, always Snapchatting. So what people don't know is before I started my official vlog in last October 2015, I was vlogging. Like I was vlogging for like 2 years before that. Like I was vlogging in Chiang Mai for the first year, all on Snapchat. Tons of videos up on my other YouTube channel, on my second channel. And even before that, like even when we were in the 1-bedroom apartment, I really wanted to start a podcast. And I have some videos from back in that apartment. So I've always been filming, always been recording, always wanted to make something, like something to sink my teeth in and just do. And one of the big reasons for the YouTube thing is, like I said in our quick little video before this, is one of the key life hacks that changed my life, maybe the number one or number two, is when Parker and I moved into our apartment, we didn't sign up for cable TV. We just streamed Apple TV on the big screen, and that put YouTube into our brains instead of NBA games and all the shows. And so we started just consuming YouTube and consuming travel vloggers like Casey Neistat and Louis Cole and Jabril and Johnny. And so it eventually, like, you become what you eat. You are what you eat. And like vlogging and traveling now, it just seems normal to me. Like, because that's all I watch. Like people watch Game of Thrones, I watch travel vloggers. So for me, it's just like regular. That's what you do when you travel. You film it.
You know what's crazy is people always like they never see the iceberg forming under the water. Mm-hmm. They only see like, oh, this guy started a YouTube channel not even that long ago.
Yeah,
now he has 9,000 plus subscribers. He has 1 million views. Mm-hmm. It must be an overnight success. Mm-hmm. Same thing with my blog. People are like, oh man, Johnny's only been blogging for a few years.
Right.
But I had a Zanga, which is before blogging was a term. People used to have Zanga weblogs.
What?
Right?
I don't even know what that is. Uh-huh. Is that like the MySpace of blogs?
That was before MySpace.
Oh, whoa.
And I had that, and I actually forgot I had that because it was just something I would write stuff on and post pictures when I was in college. And then I just like forgot I had that. And then when I moved to Kotal, I started a blog about restaurants on Kotal until the mafia shut me down because I wrote a bad review of a restaurant that
Russian
they owned.
Mafia was like, fuck that.
No, it was a Thai mafia.
Oh.
And they were like, and somebody pulled me aside and they're like, hey, Johnny, you have to delete that review. And I'm like, I'm not deleting a bad review. Like, I just said that, I said the service was bad. Yeah, and it was all legit, And they're like, trust me, you either leave the island right now or delete that review.
Oh, man.
So I've had all these different
reviews.
blogs, all different subjects. I had my Muay Thai blog. I've had all these, random ones. Yeah. And when I started, writing on Johnny FD about this part of my life, it came naturally because of that.
Yeah, for sure. That seems to be the whole story in any creator and any really success. Like it started way before, like, like any musician that's never overnight success, they've always been grinding in the basement like years before that, but you never hear about that. So yeah, you just got to start. You got to fake it till you make it. Like, you totally got to fake it till you make it. Always about that.
I don't even like. I know, you know, that term people like, they throw it around a lot, but I don't even think it's faking it. I think it's like, I mean, let's say you suck at basketball.
Try it till you make it.
Yeah, like you know, you're not faking basketball. You just suck.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
but you're still having fun. You're still doing it.
Yeah,
and
just do it.
You know. I guess you're a fake pro baller. You know, you can say that. But you're still playing basketball. You're still vlogging. You're still creating a YouTube channel. You're still blogging. You're just not that good at it yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually started a blog called livinthatlife.com. I started that even a year before I even discovered Johnny. And I started writing about location independence and all the 4-hour work week minded type stuff. And it was called Living That Life. And wouldn't you love to work online? And it was a mind hack. It's just like I was writing like I was traveling and working online, but I wasn't. And it was like just kind of talking about that philosophy. And that was total mind hack. Like I was pretending like I did. That's why I say fake it till you make it. That's why I like that. Because I like kind of faked like I was one of these digital nomads, like writing about it even before I was. So it eventually you are what you eat.
Well, yeah. It's almost like you're manifesting your own destiny.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what they say. If you guys know the Secret, the book, the movie, it's all about law of attraction. Like someone commented in the Jabril video, like law of attraction. It's basically, for those of you that don't know, it's basically the philosophy that whatever you put out, you attract. And there's a lot of truth to it. It's not some magic out there in the world, but it starts with your thoughts, and what your thoughts are become your words, and your words become your actions. But what your thoughts are has to do with your surroundings. That's why they say the number one biggest life hack is if you want to be an entrepreneur, is to hang around other entrepreneurs. So that talking about entrepreneurship will start to be in your thoughts, and then you'll start to talk about it, and then you'll start to basically do action. And it's all about just like making your own luck. So for example, like the meeting Jabril thing randomly in Bangkok, like how lucky was that really? Okay, so it's making your own luck. Like it was bound to happen because number one, Bangkok is the most traveled city in the world. So how random really is it? But we were making our own luck by being in Bangkok in the first place.
And also jumped through that window when like opportunity knocks. I think there's so many people that might see that message and be like, oh no, he's probably busy, or oh I have other plans tonight. I'm not gonna hit him up. Mm-hmm. But you guys saw it and you're like, yeah, let me hit him up. Let me meet him up right now. So I'm sure you had other things to do that day.
Well, I ain't got no job. It's Friday and I got shit to do. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't have a job. I mean, our business is automated, but we definitely didn't have anything to do.
Okay,
better than meeting Jabril.
But you know what? That is part of it as well. You set up your life where you don't have these responsibilities.
Right, yeah.
So that's not just luck. You don't just happen to not have a job and not have responsibilities and not have to be somewhere. You didn't just happen to be in Bangkok.
Right. We set that all up beforehand. Yeah. So it was making our own luck. So if you keep going towards what you want to do, like entrepreneurs say in all the books, is the harder you work, the luckier you get, or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think all of us have at least a degree of luck. I think
sure.
Some of us may consider ourselves more lucky.
For sure.
And some of us are like, I had to work for everything I ever got. But either way, you're better off than someone who doesn't work, and whether they're lucky or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make your own luck. Like in business, in life, there's always a degree in luck. And I realized, like, Parker and I, we did get a little bit lucky. There's lucky things that happen, but at the same time, we really, really wanted it to happen. And like, we put our minds together and we were like, we're going to go back to Thailand. Like we had these big sticky notes on the wall, like the poster board size ones. And we were writing, like, our original deadline was May 2014 and we didn't hit that, but we made October 2014. So we really, really wanted it to happen. And then in combination with the big drive to make it happen, we also got lucky in certain respects. Like, let's just say finding something on your video and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely like that. And I think everyone listening to this, what you guys can learn from it is start setting plans, start making it happen. And if you get lucky on the way, what that does, that's almost like finding a turbo boost where it brings you faster and closer. But if you're not moving forward, first off, you'll probably never see those turbo boosts. And if you do see it, it's not gonna do anything if you're not even heading that direction anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we tried, like another lucky thing is, let's say meeting Kai. Cause we tried other businesses, like online businesses, before our Amazon product succeeded. Like, we kind of got lucky, let's say, meeting Kai at the conference, but we made our own luck by coming to the conference. And Kai was our age and he happened to be crushing it with Amazon. So like, let's say the person crushing with Amazon was like, not in our age, or like we never met him at the conference for some random reason, then we wouldn't have got into Amazon, and maybe we wouldn't be out here. We wouldn't have a successful product on Amazon. And let's say our first product on Amazon wasn't successful, So there's all these lucky things that come into play, of course, in business and in life. But you just got to make your own luck, guys. You got to try until you succeed.
I like it. So we keep talking about this conference. I think people are wondering what that is. If you guys haven't heard the podcast episode 52, it was in 2014, which is exactly 2 years ago. Riley and his brother Parker came out, made it happen, had the sticky notes, and they're like, I want to go to the first ever Dropship Lifestyle Retreat, which Anton put on. And there, what I thought was really cool was that even though Anton's course is all about dropshipping, he didn't want to just pigeonhole all his members into saying, this is the one best way to do things. He said, you know what? I want my students to be successful regardless of what they do, especially if it's e-commerce related, because to him, it's not just about dropshipping. That, he's always kind of made it very clear that is the easiest entry point for people. They don't have to spend money on inventory. They don't have to have like a warehouse. They don't have to have a retail space. This is how you get in. And then if you want to start importing your own goods and have a warehouse, go do that. If you want to start doing Amazon FBA, buying inventory, go do that. If you want a private label, go do that. And at that conference, he had people come up, speaking about these other ways of doing things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it was Ben Brandis at the conference. He spoke about Amazon FBA, how he's crushing with that, making like $17K per month. And luckily, Kai went right into that, and he was one of our friends there. And after a few months, like, he was crushing it. So we're like, okay, let's try that. So yeah, we launched we were going to do these running belts, and there was a patent infringement. So right before they were going to ship out, like, the company Flip Belt went against all the copycats, and they sent someone to Alibaba. And so we got a picture in the email from our supplier with the running belts cut, like, right before Chinese New Year. So we had to scramble, pick a new product. We did a test order of the scramble product. It actually ended up doing pretty well. We refined it, made it better, and then launched it again. And that's the product that's still selling well now, that's been paying for our lives. One product sells for $39.99 and it's been paying for me and Parker's full-time income out here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just one product.
Can I ask how much you're making from that?
Yeah, it's so sells for $39.99. Amazon takes 25%, so we get paid out 29 something, so about $30. And right now we are making, let's see, right now the product costs us about $12. They're really juicy now because it's a bulk holiday order. So let's just say it started at $16 when we were ordering 1,000 at a time. So let's just say the product costs us about $15. So our profit's about $15 per sale, and we sell about 10 to 20 per day. It actually averaged 16 over the last 12 months. So we make like between $150 and $300 per day, like net profit, just like doing nothing. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah. It's not bad. That. You can live out here for that. Shanghai. Spend $1,000 a month.
And I know, so, kind of recapping that story, lots of headaches in the beginning. There's always going to be barriers to entry. You might pick a product that might get physically cut up and just blocked by the manufacturer if there was something like a patent, or if there's a trademark infringement or anything else. How would you have done that differently? Like, was there any way that you could have known that, or was that like just a risk that people take?
Yeah. People ask me. So first of all, through starting my YouTube channel and my podcast, last October, like I always talk about, what I do, or I always mention what I do. Yeah, I do the Amazon thing, but I never really go into it. But I do answer a lot of Amazon questions now. And one of I tell people you can definitely research if there's a patent pending, from the main company. Like, for example, the Flip Belt was the $1 million company, and then there were also knockoffs and different versions on Amazon. So definitely see if there's a patent pending, and I would try to avoid that if there is a patent pending with that.
Okay. If you want to know more about Amazon, what you guys do, you and Parker now have a course, right?
Yeah. So it all, like, over these last couple months, like, it all came to be because, like, after 6 months, like 6 months into the channel, like the audience was a good size. And then I would just get the same Amazon questions literally every day, like I'm sure that you do. Now I do too, get text messages all around the social media every day. And we're just like, okay, like I might as well just record these answers. And so that's what we did. We just recorded all the answers and made like a step-by-step answering all the most common questions from research all the way to launching on Amazon. And we made it into a little video course.
I like
That's what you do, right?
What's the site?
It's called theamazonmethod.com.
All right. So I remember when you told me that, I was like, can you use Amazon in the title?
Yeah.
But you know what? As long as it works,
I hope it'll be fine. I hope it'll be fine.
Have you guys bought like amzmethod.com at least?
No, but maybe we should.
Yeah.
That's what Parker wanted to do, the AMZ method, but like I read the rules, and as long as you're not trying to pretend like you're something else, then it's fine. Like we're not it doesn't sound like this is owned by Amazon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those things where I like that you just jump in head first and you're just like, you know what, let's just do it.
Yeah. I mean, if we become one of the biggest online schools or courses in the internet, maybe then they'll notice. But hey, let's make that happen first. Okay. But yeah, it's so cool because I literally get questions. Like I'm just getting a question like right now. I get multiple questions per day, guys. Like it's crazy about Amazon because I mean, it's important because online business and travel go hand in hand. You have to have the online business before you can do the extended travel. So being able to help people start, like even if it's Amazon or any other type of online business, like Amazon does take some money upfront to buy inventory, takes an investment, but any online business, I'm excited to help people start that. And yeah, we have a Facebook group too. It's called the Livin That Life community, kind of like your Travel Like a Boss army. So we started that a month ago, and that's real cool. People are dropping a lot of knowledge bombs in there too, getting started. Excited to see everyone seeing one of your videos and being like, dude, you fucking got me pumped about this shit. And then like a few months later, they screenshot me. I got a sale for my dropshipping store. I got a sale, like just like you always get, I'm sure, all the time. I got my first Amazon sale. So that's the dopest thing of it all.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's a nice feeling too. Right?
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice feeling, man. You're humbled, man. So yeah.
So I know you just mentioned that you have to have a business before you start traveling. Neither of us had a business before we started traveling.
Yeah, exactly. But to stay traveling, we'll put it that way. To stay, you gotta be paid. You gotta be paid through the internet, and hey, lots of internet jobs these days.
Yeah,
jobs.
That definitely makes sense. So, do you think that people should try to start before they move, or would you recommend just jumping into it?
That's actually another question that I get a lot in the comments. Someone left me a hate comment like, dude, why are you promoting quitting your job before you have an online business? Like everyone's situation is different. But definitely start before. Yeah. Start now. Start your niche research now if you're going to be selling products. Yeah. And that's my channel trailer. So you can, youtube.com/livinthatlife. I've got a channel trailer. I just edited that. I took all of the, some of the highlights from this first year of traveling and, made a super cut. That took me like 2 days to do.
I like it.
Yeah.
I noticed that your subscriber count has skyrocketed.
Yeah, man. It starts slow and then it just goes. Yeah, it goes quicker.
What any tips on people wanting to grow their YouTube channel?
Yeah, because I have like Evan and like some other guys who are trying to do it. So my initial subscriber base came from like Vietnamese Americans because all my videos were in Saigon. Like when I came back home from the summer, decided to buy a real camera, and then went to Saigon. And so all my first videos were in Saigon. And so really my first audience was through keyword. I mean, it's all keyword based. That's how people see your videos. So people planning a trip to Saigon, or people that miss Saigon, people that just wants to see what's going on. That was my initial subscriber base, the Vietnamese Americans. And then also collaborations with other YouTubers. I did some collab, like food videos with some other food YouTubers in Ho Chi Minh, KyleA.net, and Oldboy, Yavato, aka Yavato. So shout out to you guys, because shout out to Oldboy and Kyle. They really kind of helped jumpstart me, then gave me my initial 1,000. And then from there, it's all travel related, tourist related stuff. So it was things that people were searching for, like food in Ho Chi Minh, like tourist activities in Ho Chi Minh, like Philippines travel, what to do in Boracay. And so I would definitely keep SEO and keywords in mind when you're making your videos. Do the SEO research, see what people are looking for, like searching for in your niche. There's sites to do that. And then make videos on those topics. Put yourself on the first page for those type of keywords.
What's some of those sites that you use?
I just Google YouTube keyword search volume, and there'll be a couple like tools to do that. And like, let's say your niche is like podcasting, and then type in podcasting, and there'll be a bunch of related search terms related to podcasting, like how to podcast, best podcast mic, uploading your podcast, and like do a video on one of those highly searched word topics. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then in the like YouTube like tag manager, are you filling that up as many as you can, or are you just putting a few?
So I actually just learned about this. You fill it up all the way, and I just learned that the tags that you put first are weighted heavier. So definitely fill all the tags in. The most related ones first. And there's actually a Chrome plugin called vidIQ, and it's actually paid. It's like $50 per month. But for some reason, I had to just buy it like last week, because for some reason all my tags got deleted on a bunch of videos. I don't know why. And so I had to redo those. And so it auto suggests tags based on like search terms around your video. So but it's just obvious stuff. Just put in the obvious search terms. You can Google like YouTube search volume, and just put in those highly searched terms in your video. Aside from the SEO stuff, of course, when you're doing a YouTube channel, just be yourself. And I think that's what people like about my videos. It's like uncut. You just got to be yourself. Yeah. And if people like it, they'll like it. If they don't, they don't. So totally be yourself. Don't just do you, create and be real. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I think a lot of people, when they're starting out, they think, no, nobody's going to want to follow me. I'm XYZ, or I'm, I don't fit the general stereotype for somebody that they would follow on TV, for instance. But what's crazy is I really, really believe that there's enough people in the world, especially now that we're all connected, that no matter what your personality type is, somebody connects with you.
Yeah.
Whether you're a skinny, nerdy Asian guy who likes playing video games, or you're a chubby dude who likes eating pizza. There's somebody that's like, yeah, that's me, or that's what I want to be.
Exactly.
And as long as you are authentically real and you're the best version of yourself and you put yourself out there, other people are going to be like, you know what? I like following this guy. But nobody wants to follow someone who's trying to be someone else, because then you're nobody.
Yeah, that's the thing about
you're not even you.
The thing about YouTube is there's so many YouTubers. There's someone for everyone, and like the YouTube like personal reality TV show, whatever you want to call it, like that's the future. Like live streaming and all these like internet personalities, you can relate to someone that you just be like, oh my god, like I can't believe that guy's exactly like me. Like, so your audience will eventually come. Like, it's hard to build a YouTube audience, like it is. I've just I got most of my views through like searchable things, like travel related things, and then of course my podcasts get a lot of views. My digital nomad interviews, there's a playlist on my channel with all my interviews, and my podcasts will also be uploaded to iTunes too, so hopefully that link is below as well. But yeah, just do you, and eventually you'll find your audience.
What was the name of your podcast?
It's just called Livin That Life Podcast. Okay. So the podcast right now is just in video format on YouTube. I call it a podcast, but whatever. But the audio from those videos will be on an official iTunes podcast. I actually have an assistant. My first assistant. Yes, we're leveling
Nice.
up.
Leveling up, buddy.
Yeah, doing that and putting that on iTunes soon. So link will be below.
So speaking of leveling up,
Yeah.
2 years ago, you came out here to attend your first conference ever, made the move, started your first online business, had massive success, not only with the first business, but then also kind of branching out, creating your own brand, creating your own YouTube following, now creating a course, now doing all these other cool things. You are definitely, and now you're hiring employees.
Yeah.
So you're crazy leveling up.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm announcing officially that Riley is going to be a speaker at the 2017 Nomad Summit.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks, man. He just told me live on the little interview that we did just before this on my channel. So yeah, thank you, man. I always preach conferences in my videos and interviews. And so I actually already had a handful of people coming to your conference. I was like, Johnny, man, I got some people coming. Like I always talk about it. So I was like, let's do a video promoting it. And then he's like, yeah, I actually wanted to invite you to speak. So I was like, oh shit. So yeah, I will definitely be seeing you guys there.
Yeah, I love it. So I've been putting off announcing the speakers because I honestly think the main benefit of a conference is meeting other people who are attending the conference. You know, whether they are at the same level as you, just starting out, or if they are, at a high level and they're there to network with the speakers and all the other people who are balling out. That is the main benefit of a conference, to get somewhere, maybe even force you to come to a place like Thailand from your home state, by having that as the goal, or, if you're already around, to go and actually meet a couple hundred people who I guarantee 10 or 20 with you're gonna really connect with. But the speakers itself, it's almost one of those things where, like, if all we did was have the names that you've heard of before, or even people who spoke every year already, yeah, you'll definitely learn something, but you probably already know who that person is. I think the real benefit of a conference is having the organizer curate or handpick who they think is going to add the most value to your audience this year, even if you've never heard of them, or even if, they might be doing something that you're like, oh, I didn't even think I was going to be doing that.
Yeah, conferences are huge. Not just the information that the speakers are giving, but just meeting all these nomads that have been traveling around the world and just being like, okay, these are regular people. These people exist. You can work online and travel forever if you want. Like you'll meet that one guy that's like, yeah, I've been traveling for 8 years, like all around the world. I've been to 43 countries. And it's like, oh, okay, and he's just a regular guy.
Yeah,
like,
and what's crazy is, like, you might have seen their YouTube channel, or like read their blog, but until you actually meet them in person, it feels different, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's a huge hack. And like we were just saying on the previous video, 5 of my closest friends I've met at that 2014 conference, and it's really cool. And the biggest like life hack coming to a conference rather than coming out during a non-conference time is right when I came to Chiang Mai, the first week or the first 3 days, I instantly made my group of friends. And so I made my group of friends at this conference in 3 days, where if I came not to a conference during like some other month, it would have taken me months to make my solid core group of friends, because you're instantly going to meet 100 people. And so it's just like expedites the process right there, like gets you in the community, especially if you're new.
Yeah, I like it. I just logged into our ticket dashboard to see how many are left. We've now sold 225 tickets.
Wow.
And we are completely out of all the super early bird tickets and half of the normal early bird tickets. So if you guys wanted to come, you better get on this now, because prices are going to just keep going up as we get closer to the actual conference.
Damn, I haven't bought mine yet, man. Can I get a free one? I'm speaking.
We can get you in, Riley.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I was going to wear it. I wasn't going to get in. Shit.
No, but what's really cool this year is we have different levels of tickets. So the standard tickets are seminar style seating. So you get a chair, you get admission, you get to watch all the talks. But this year, what we're also going to do is we're going to have a deluxe ticket, which what that does is that allows you to have the front half of the room where we're going to have actual tables. So that way people can bring their laptops to take notes. They can, put their coffee or their water on the table. You get a little bit more kind of just more comfortable. But what's nice about that is those ticket prices are going to offset the other ones. So if you're bootstrapping, you can't really afford $200 to come in for the full price ticket, you can be like, you know what? I don't need all that room. I can take notes on my lap. I don't need to have a fancy coffee or anything.
Yeah.
I can just sit. I want to go there and meet everyone.
Yeah, just meet everyone.
Do everything. And we're also going to have new VIP tickets. First time we're doing this ever. We're going to have VIP seating. So what that does is that allows you to come in and out whenever you feel like it. So you don't have to wait for us to actually officially open the doors. You can go and pick whatever seats you want, front and center if you want, or you can pick, wherever you feel comfortable. But what's really cool is that is going to give you access to all the speakers as well. We're going to invite you to the private speakers dinner. So it's going to be a small group, just the speakers and the organizers, and you're actually going to be able to sit down next to your favorite speaker, have dinner with them. That's all going to be included. And what's really, really cool, and one of the reasons why the actual event space is so much more expensive this year than we had before, is this is an actual convention center. It's not just a small seminar room, low ceilings, cramped in. This is an actual convention center at the Le Méridien Hotel.
A motherfucking convention, guys. It's a convention out here.
It's gonna be beautiful. It really is. Like super high ceilings, giant room. It can fit up to 400 people, and the Le Méridien has really great food as well. And I knew it was gonna be a mess to try to get everyone to 300-400 people to go out to lunch and come back in time. So we negotiated with them where every single ticket, no matter which ticket you get, standard or deluxe or the VIP, everybody gets free lunch.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Make some food porn.
Honestly, it's not even about the food. Like, it's what you were saying earlier about the networking, where if everyone's going to go out for lunch, maybe you might feel left out, if you don't, if you didn't happen to meet anyone yet, or, one group goes here, another group goes here. The reason why I wanted everybody to have lunch at the venue is so you can sit down and you can network.
For sure. Good shiz, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like it. So nomadsummit.com, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The 3rd is going to be the networking day. The 4th, the Saturday, is going to be the actual main conference day. And then the 5th, we're going to have a pool party.
Yeah, man. He's just telling me all this for the first time today. So I'm like, wow, pool party. That's going to be fun. Excited to meet all you guys. And then after the pool party, maybe maybe you guys can come out with us and get weird in Chiang Mai. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like it. So what are your actual plans next upcoming months?
So upcoming months, I actually leave next week. We have some college buddies coming next week and a few days in Chiang Mai. Then we go to Koh Samui, and then we go to the full moon party on the 12th. So check out that video, guys. And then on the 16th, my mom and Parker's mom both come, and they come for 3 weeks. So we go Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Krabi, Koh Samui. We do the trip all over again. So we starting on the 6th, we have a full month of traveling. Starting from the 3rd to the 3rd, we have a whole month of traveling around Thailand. So,
wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy that, and it's been cool for your moms to see you speaking on stage.
Yeah, no, man. It happens to be that my mom will be here in Chiang Mai when the conference is. So, like, it's just going through my head now. Like, wow, that's gonna be so cool. Like, my mom seeing me speaking, like, really for the first time. I'm actually giving a talk at a coffee shop meetup next month, but like really speaking for the first time in front of 300-400 people, like that's gonna be crazy. My mom's gonna be like, okay, what have you been up to out here?
Yeah.
What?
You know what, I guarantee she's gonna see that and be like, you know what, my son is actually doing something. He's not just backpacking around, he's just not just having fun making these videos. He's actually changing lives.
Yeah, I know. So wow, that's gonna be really cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm so excited for you to be speaking. This year's conference topic is going to be called Leveling Up.
Leveling up.
And you have definitely leveled up your life. And I'm excited for you to share the exact kind of tips on how you did it and how other people can do the same.
Exactly, man. I love it. It's my pleasure to create. It's my pleasure to share. Sharing is caring.
I like it. So one thing I actually wanted to ask you about is, 2 episodes ago, I did a personality test breakdown with Kristen Yates called Myers-Briggs Personality versus Entrepreneurship. I am an ESTJ, which is the executive. So I am extroverted. I'm I'm a good planner. I'm a good community organizer, which is why I like doing things like putting these conferences together. But she and you are both ENFPs, right?
Yeah, ENFP.
Which is the campaigner, And if you guys had listened to the episode, it's 141. We break down the pros and cons, but the downsides of the ENFP, even though you guys, are, exciting and super, super fun to be with, always want to try new things. One of the big downsides is that you don't get things done because you are always dreaming about something else.
Right.
How did you overcome that?
Maybe I'm still overcoming it. Maybe I haven't overcame it.
But you know what? You have income. You're making good money.
Oh.
You actually, you actually have a successful channel. You have all these things in place that most ENFPs think about and get really excited about for a few days or a week, but then they never execute on it.
Oh, I see what you're going at. Where you're going with that question. Like, because I'm already quote unquote successful and made it. Like, that is one crazy thing to realize that like I've kind of made it. Like, my dream was to be making $4,000 a month passively online, and now we make $4 to $5K passively online. Okay, it's split between two people, but it's enough to live out here.
Way more than enough. Because what are you spending a month out here?
We spend about, if we didn't party, it'd be about $1,000. But we do party, and it's about $1,500. So it can be expensive.
I like how you're spending 50% of your budget on partying.
I know. Yeah, we spend more on partying, going out than our rent. Dude, our rent is $200 a month.
Buckets.
And yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, we only go out like probably 2 nights a week, like regular people. It's not like we go out every day. We work during the weekdays and we party on the weekends. Like one or two nights a weekend. But
you know what? You don't even have to apologize about that because how old are you?
27.
All right. If I guarantee anyone listening to this that's 27 or younger, and you can be out in Thailand.
Yeah.
And you can drink buckets of beers with, or buckets of,
But we like to pop bottles, order bottles, pass around shots. Like, you can do that in Thailand. And if you were doing that in Seattle or something, it'd probably be 3-4 times more expensive. So for sure.
So I definitely approve, and I know why you do it.
Yeah, of course. So living that life, baby.
Yeah. So how did you actually get yourself to sit down and get like the product launched or get the
things
videos
done.
made? Yeah.
Yeah. With the videos, first of all, like, I'm my biggest fan. I want to film and edit the video because I want to see the video myself. So that's my biggest really motivation for getting around to the videos. And that being said, starting out, I did really procrastinate. I didn't edit the footage right away. So I still have tons of footage from Vietnam and the Philippines still to be edited. But what gets me around, what pushes me to staying up all night to edit a video, because that's what I do every single time. I've never edited a video during the day. It's always an all-nighter. It takes me on average 4 to 8 hours to edit a video. Let's just say 6 hours on average. Is because I want to see that video. Like, I get excited about the song and I'm like, I want to see my life to this beats, like playing and cut really cool. So it's like, I want to relive my memories in a cool way. I thought about this recently. I'm an MC. I'm an MC of videos. I don't take the beat and flow over it. I take the beat and put my life over it in video form. So I was like, damn, like I'm a MC of beats. Like, take the beat and be like, boom, 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 put all these travel images over it. So I really enjoy watching my own videos. So like, that's what motivates me to do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Where do you get your royalty-free beats from, by the way?
I get them from SoundCloud.
Okay.
And I actually steal all my, shamelessly, beats, not all of them, from Casey Neistat's. So in Casey Neistat's vlogs, I was a big fan way before the vlogs, guys. Like, I'm one of the original fans of Casey Neistat. But he would link the artist in the description, and I would follow all of those artists in SoundCloud. And then on your feed in SoundCloud, whenever that one of those artists posts a dope beat, I'll be like, oh, this is dope. And so I take my beats from all the same producers, and they're just like total like funky hip hop jazz vibes. Okay. Cool stuff. So yeah, SoundCloud's the place.
And YouTube knows that they're royalty free, and they don't punish you on that.
Yeah, because these are just independent, producers trying to make it, so that it's not listed in the YouTube directory. It's not copyrighted or anything. Yeah.
Nice tip. I like it. Mm-hmm. So here I'm looking at the weaknesses of the campaigner. So first off, the strengths, right? And we talked about this in the other episode. So if you wanted to know more, just listen to that first. But I can see this spot on with you. You're an excellent communicator. You know how to relax. You're popular. You're friendly, energetic, enthusiastic. You're very curious, right? So here are the downsides, right? Maybe find it difficult to focus sometimes. Do you overthink things or get stressed out easily?
I would say my life is pretty stress free. But overthinking, maybe overthinking because I am kind of a perfectionist. I do spend way more time sometimes on like a video, for example, or like a blog post, or like editing a photo, like a YouTube thumbnail. Like I want to make it perfect. Like, so like maybe that has to do with that.
So I actually read a little bit more about the getting stressed. It doesn't mean you getting stressed. It's actually you caring too much or being too sensitive about what other people think, and then worrying about that too much, or saying yes to everybody's request, and having your plate stacked too high.
Right. I do want to be like really nice to everyone and be like, yeah, okay, like I'll help you. I'll help you with your Amazon business, so ever. I don't want to like reject anyone, for sure. Yeah, that could be true. But overall, like compared to my old life, my life's pretty non-stressful.
So do you think that is kind of a big factor of why you enjoy this life so much, is because you're able to design it in a way where you don't have all that stress?
Yeah. I mean, we got to mention in this podcast somewhere that we're all big fans of the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, the original quote unquote digital nomad, if you will. But yeah, I read the 4-Hour Workweek like 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, yeah, that's my dream. But one of my favorite things about this life, the quote unquote non-job life, Elliot Hulse fans, is being able to have my own schedule and sleep in whenever I want. Like I've always been a night owl, so I do my best work at nights in the late hours. And I love just being able to wake up, when I feel like waking up, not having an alarm clock. I used to hate that. I mean, as we all do. So if you guys can relate to that, if that's your one big motivation, do it just for that. Because I love never having an alarm clock. It's worth it,
right? Not having to wake up when your alarm clock goes off, even if you're tired from the night before, even if you didn't sleep well.
Yeah.
Or it's cold out, it's raining, it's dark.
Yeah, like I love it. Like it could be like the top 1 or 2 things. Like I love it. It's like it used to be, my dream, and I'm sure it's a lot of your guys' dreams to not have an alarm clock. And occasionally I'll have an alarm clock. Like today I had to get up to meet Johnny, but it's always because it's something that you want to do. Not because something that you don't have to do.
What time was I meeting you today?
I was gonna say I actually. Okay, but I did have to set an alarm clock to get up at 12 because I left Pun Space at like 3 a.m.
Okay, so if you guys like being able to set your alarm clock for noon instead of 6:30 a.m. or 7:30 a.m., then this is a good life.
The other thing is I didn't really have to set the alarm. Like I would have waken up anyways, but I wanted to get up early.
We were meeting at 2 p.m. by the way, just so people know.
Yeah, actually the reason I set it was to get up a little bit earlier to sit by the pool and get some tan so I look sexy for all you ladies in the video.
All right.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. So if you ladies are listening to this, you like guys with 3D freckles popping out.
Yeah, I got my freckles popping out. 20 minutes by the sun, those freckles will pop. Freckles will pop, man, with my iPhone 7 filming the previous video.
Ooh. All right. Yeah. So definitely check out that video. It's fun to make. You can see us walking around. We'll try to link that in the show notes somewhere. Livin that life.
So actually the second part to your question, how did I overcome the weaknesses? I have to get this out real quick. How did I get out? What was the big life hack that got me around like not finishing projects or taking the action or whatever? And for me, that was having a partner in crime. Like I don't think I would be out here if it wasn't for having a team of 2, Parker and I, both with laser vision on what we want to do. Like if it was just me, I would have totally put it off. So that's why I also consider myself lucky in that respect. Like we talked about earlier, luck is I'm really lucky to have a friend like Parker who's exactly on the same page as me, exactly the same mindset. Not everyone has that. So like I do realize that, guys. Like I am lucky because of that. But with the internet, you can kind of hack your way around that and become virtual friends with people in Facebook group communities and YouTube communities and come to a conference and, meet everyone on the same page. So I think that might be part of the answer how I got around a lot of my weaknesses is having a partner to pull you along and to hold yourself accountable. Definitely accountability is huge. Like if you have a friend that's down to travel or whatever, start the business, like make a pact or whatever and set a deadline. Like Tim Ferriss says, set a deadline and hold yourself accountable and be like, by this time, 6 months, we are going to make our first sale online. And, 2 months after that, we're going to have our first ticket booked to another country or something like that. Get on a team. And that's the biggest life hack. Yeah.
I like that a lot. And, if you guys want to listen to Parker when he was on episode 52.
Yeah.
I apologize for that audio quality. That was back in the day.
Hey, we leveled up. We leveled up.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. And Parker, for you guys who don't know him or haven't listened to that episode, he is would he be an introvert or a little bit? He's at least behind the scenes kind of guy.
Yeah, he's definitely behind the scenes kind of guy, but like he's really good at certain things that I'm not good at, like planning and like logistics and like seeing the overall big picture, and like managing and making sure everything is on point, like with our Amazon business and with our course and everything. He's a good like community organizer, and so yeah, it's awesome to have that partner who's good at things that you're not good at, like all the entrepreneurs say, like Woz and Steve Jobs and all that stuff. They all have a partner in crime.
Yeah, I could definitely see, especially for those personality types where you can complement each other. Mm-hmm. It's a good way to go. I also think, for me personally, I'm glad I started on my own because I had nobody to blame or to wait for. I would have just put things off. Mm-hmm. Especially if the other person was putting things off, it gives me an excuse not to do things. So I actually, for me personally, I think it was better that I did it on my own. But now that I have a partner, Sam Marks, for the other podcast, and he has that personality type where he likes getting things done. He's well organized. It's actually helped a lot. So I think it's all about finding the right partner, or just doing it on your own.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it comes down to you. It comes down to you, what's inside. It comes down, like I tell people this, it comes down to how bad you want it. We wanted it really bad and it happened. So it's not going to magically make it happen. If you want it that bad, you still have to turn your words into actions and get your feet moving and start copying other people. Start taking notes from other people who are already living your life. That's the life that you want. That's a huge life hack. Like the quote from the 4 Hour Workweek, pay acute attention to what's already working and adapt it. That's the cool thing with like entrepreneurship is you don't have to reinvent the wheel yourself. You don't have to think about how to make money online. All you have to do is adapt the strategies that are working for others. And so at the same time, it comes from a deep, deep motivation, and that's all you. It's all you. How bad do you want it?
It's all you guys.
Yeah.
So if you want to know more, you can follow Riley, youtube.com/livin that life. LIVIN, no G.
Yeah, no G. But we still G's over here, but no G. Living that life, man. I don't know, man. That's just the name of my blog that I started 3 years ago. And it's just like, I've always pictured living that life. Like when like rappers say it in their song, like we live in that lifestyle. I always pictured like, because we grew up on like Lil Wayne and like big timers and stuff, just like hanging around with their crew, like traveling around the world, like P. Diddy and stuff, like out here in Paris. Like I always pictured living that life just meaning doing whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. Just like living the rock star lifestyle, like the rapper lifestyle. That's all we wanted to be as kids, is just like, to be rappers or, like to be Lil Wayne or whatever. And so this is like our own version of that freedom lifestyle.
I like it.
Living that life. Yeah.
And we definitely have that freedom now.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it. So if you guys want to know more, check out Living That Life.
Living That Life, baby.
Or come out. Even better, come meet Riley in person.
Come meet me. Like it's just an overview of what my travel is. It's a lot of like touristy guide stuff, a lot of food porn, a lot of just travel vlogs. My most popular video is cockfighting in the Philippines, where I'm vlogging at a cockfighting arena. I love that video. Second most popular is coffee shops in Amsterdam, where we start the video riding motorbikes in Vietnam and we end up smoking joints in a coffee shop in Amsterdam. That has almost 200,000 views now. And people love that video because it's an awesome video. And the third one is a travel vlog in Singapore. And then after that, it's like me eating pho.
Nice. I like it.
So yeah, that kind of stuff.
Come out, Nomad Summit 2017, February 4th, nomadsummit.com. Get your tickets. Come meet Riley, all the other speakers, as well as all the other attendees meet your new best friends.
Yeah.
And start living that life.
Living that life, baby. Hey, we're doing it. Happy to share. Want you guys to start doing it as well.
All right. Thanks so much for being on the show, and see all you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
By the way, everyone, I wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone who's been leaving all these great 5-star reviews of the podcast. This week, I want to give a shout out to Molly Fiona from the UK. She says, inspiring and life-changing, 5 stars. I've been following Johnny's podcast for a few months now, and I'm hooked. I'm listening to every episode back to back from 100 episodes in. Johnny is inspirational, motivational, and full of fantastic advice and tips. His guests are well selected, and each one brings individual value. I learned something new in each episode. Since I started listening just a few months ago, I have since set up my own freelance business, started dropshipping, and made the decision to become a digital nomad. Just booked my flight out to Asia. So this podcast really has made a huge influence in my life.
Dude, that is so awesome. And I'm glad that you read that, because that was me, guys. I have to tell this little anecdote. I started with Travel Like a Boss podcast. So my corporate job was knocking doors, door to door, selling Comcast cable. No joke. I used to have my headphones in, listening to Travel Like a Boss podcast, riding around residential neighborhoods while I was knocking doors. And when I got to the door, I wouldn't even take my headphones out. I would just pause it, do my pitch, get the sale or not get the sale, put the Travel Like a Boss podcast on, go get back into my Ford Taurus or my little Buick, whatever car I had at that time. And so I'm glad you read that, because that was exactly me, guys. So in 2 years, maybe you'll be here on a podcast.
I'd love to see you guys out here. And Molly, if you come out to Chiang Mai, wherever I am in the world, let us know, and we would love to meet. All right, guys. See you guys all next week. Peace out. Thank you for listening to the Travel Like a Boss podcast. If you want to hear more, including the bonus, How to Choose the Perfect Niche episode, join our mailing list at travellikeabosspodcast.com. See you next week, and remember, if you want to travel like a boss, you need to be your own boss. So start your online business today and start living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of.